Okay, welcome back to the channel. In this video, Richard will not be working out with us tonight because we are on our deload week. But on my deload weeks, I still like to get into the gym and do a little bit of workouts to keep everything active, keep everything moving around and blood flow. And also, I feel like being active helps recovery faster, like active recovery basically. I light my loads. Instead of doing 4 sets, I'll do 2 sets. And instead of doing 4 exercises, I might do 2, maybe 3 exercises each body part. And then I greatly reduce the load and the sets and the reps that I do. And tonight, Julia was in there with me as well. And this is her legitimate first week training. So she's not on deload. She's actually working out now. And how are you feeling about your workout?
I'm feeling better. It's not so bad. I do feel like I'm needing to get the memory on how to do the form correctly. So I'm glad you're in there to kind of guide me and remind me to slow down because I want to rush through it. So appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean that does happen a lot with new lifters. Either their form needs to be critiqued, or they feel like just repping the weight as fast as they can is the way you do it, and actually slowing the rep down, getting a nice deep stretch at the top or the bottom of the movement, whichever the stretch is at, and then pulling all the way through to a hard contraction with a static squeeze. That's where the most progress is that you're going to make. Now, don't get me wrong, clanging and banging and slinging some weights around is always fun, and it's always fun to do, especially with heavy loads. But if you're trying to maximize muscle growth and muscle potential, time under tension is generally what's going to work best. Now, this isn't for everybody. This is just a generalization. There's multiple different training styles and training protocols to get big and to get strong, depending on what you're going for. But generally speaking, you can never go wrong with a slow negative with a hard contraction at the top and a strong squeeze while keeping it under constant tension, the muscle with control.
Yeah, I mean, I did notice a huge difference from when I was rushing it compared to when you had me slow down. I noticed a lot, like my muscles more feeling it than I did when I was just banging through it. So I do see a difference. I think that's what works best for me as well.
Yeah, and then tonight you're only doing 2 sets of everything, and you're not even doing the full amount of exercises that I would normally do on a normal week. But this is also your first week back, so starting off for you on my deload week and working out with me while I'm deloading is actually really good for you because this is a good entry level to someone who hasn't been working out in a while. Because I'm not doing a lot of sets or a lot of reps and a lot of movements. I'm just kind of hitting the area and just getting blood in there, then moving on. And for you, that's pretty much a full workout because you worked out a little bit last week and you were actually sore from that.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to kind of start off kind of slow because I didn't want to be super, super sore. And I needed to, like I said, get that muscle memory back and reteach myself how to do everything proper before I start going in there and just really putting in work. So it's working out great for me so far.
Yeah, and also too, being on my deload is, I reduce my weight, but also talking about the diet, I also reduce the amount of calories that I'm eating throughout the day. I'm still eating the exact same food that I eat. It's just I reduce the calories to somewhat, and in the evenings I'm going to have a little bit more of a what you say fun food. So I'm not going to go off the rails. What I'm doing is I'm keeping an eye on my calories, making sure I don't go too far over what I would normally get, and allow me to eat a little bit more with my family in the evenings because I never really get to have dinner with them because I'm always on a diet. So this week right here, what I'm doing is I'm eating less during the day, so I reduce my calories. So when I get home at night, instead of eating after my workout and then eating my dinner, I'm just going to put those 2 meals worth of calories together plus the lost calories throughout the day, so I can't have spaghetti or pizza or a little bit of ice cream or popcorn or whatever with my kids and my wife this week because this is the only time that I actually do this. And when I go so long without doing that, having that enjoyment with them, I just, it's not that I feel bad for me. It's just, if you have kids or you have a spouse, it's kind of fun to go out on dates and do stuff like that. And so this is my once every 3 months I get to do this for a week, but I don't go off the rails because, like I said, I pay attention to my calories and I make sure that I'm not going backwards with my results and everything. And plus, after this week, I'm starting my bulk. So I'm going to bulk for the next 5 months until the end of March. Then at the end of March, I might be starting a cut going into April and everything. And you're just going to be trying to just overall general working out and eating better. So you don't really have are you going to structure your diet, or what are your plans for your diet and everything?
Well, I plan to kind of structure my diet more next week whenever you kind of get back into the groove of things. I want to enjoy this week with you because, like you said yourself, it's not very often that I get to have that time with you when I say time, I mean like getting to have little snacks and watching movies and enjoying popcorn. And tomorrow's Halloween, and we have 3 kids, and I want to enjoy a few pieces of candy here and there. So next week, whenever you start getting back on the grind, now I'll be more inclined to like stick with it myself. But I do calorie count myself, like right now as it is. I just want to start doing that, but eating cleaner foods, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so are you going to structure your diet like I do? Because, I basically just eat ground meat and rice every day, all day. That's all I eat. I don't really go outside of that with beef stock. What is your diet going to look like? Do you have an idea of what your diet's going to look like? Or take us through what you're planning for your diet.
Well, I definitely know I won't be as hardcore as you. I'd like to pretend that I am, but let's just be honest, I'm not. But for the mornings, I make overnight oats, which is like a big protein with oats. So it does have, some carbs in the morning, but I really enjoy overnight oats with protein. And then,
Okay, real quick, for those that don't know, explain what overnights are. Overnight oats, because I didn't know what overnight oats were till like a month ago.
it's been longer than a month because
Okay,
I've been eating
well,
them for a while.
okay, when you started doing it,
Yeah.
that's when I first heard about it. So explain what that is for people that don't know.
Well, I take about half a cup of oats, like rolled oats, gluten free, and then I add a cup of protein, which is like I use the Farm Life, which is already chocolate liquefied. So I take a cup of that, and I take a scoop of protein yogurt, and then I add like half a tablespoon of peanut butter powder, and I mix it up, and I put it in a container, and I leave it in the fridge overnight. And when I wake up in the morning, the oats are soft and they're really good. But I don't mind the coldness. If you're more of a warm oat kind of person, you might not like it.
Okay. Okay, so no, continue with the diet though.
Yeah, and then so after that, usually, since I work at home, it's kind of beneficial because I can just throw some chicken in the air fryer, and I eat a chicken breast with some veggies. Do that about twice a day, and then at night.
So on the chicken, are you eating it fresh? Is it fresh chicken? Are you seasoning it, marinating it? Is it frozen chicken? Like what kind of chicken are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little lazy, so I get frozen chicken. It's healthier. So I mean, not healthier, but I'm saying it's healthy chicken. And I throw it in the air fryer.
Is it pre-seasoned chicken?
Yes.
Okay.
I said I'm lazy, okay? And then I do like 10 minutes on the air fryer, then I flip it into 10 minutes, and then I'll air fry some like Brussels sprouts or like zucchini and squash, just some kind of vegetable that I want. And I mix up the vegetables, that way I don't get kind of bored of it, because I can't be like you and eat the same exact thing constantly. So when I do get a little like burnt out, I do throw a little sauce like to dip it in, like a little bit of barbecue or sriracha ketchup or something like that.
Yeah, so the reason why I do the same meal every day, all day, is because I actually find that I end up having meals that I really enjoy, and then I end up finding meals that I really hate. And then whenever I start finding those meals that I really hate, I start to weed those out of my diet to get to the point where I find the ones that I enjoy. And normally it always comes down to like steak and rice or ground meat and rice is typically what it goes to. I either, back whenever I was powerlifting, I ate a lot of brisket or I ate a lot of steak with potatoes or rice. And then now that I bodybuild, I'm doing more ground meat and rice just because that doesn't require I have to cook it and then cut it up and chop it up and then mix it together because it's already grounded from that. So that's why I do that. So you're doing chicken and vegetables, you're doing overnight oats, and what else?
And then I'm planning on going back to steak, like red meat for dinner for myself, because I really enjoy that. It's something that I actually, like you said, you find something that works for you and that you enjoy eating, you don't get tired of. So I do like doing the steak. I grill it when you're not here, but when you're here, I prefer you to do it for me.
Yeah, so you do New York strips or ribeye. So whenever I first started this weight loss back in May, for the first 2.5 months, I was actually eating ribeye every night. I would eat like a 12 to 14 ounce ribeye with sweet potatoes and vegetables. And if you're just starting off on a diet, the best thing to do is make it enjoyable and make it where you like what you eat. So to get back into the swings of hard dieting after taking almost 2 years without dieting at all from my surgery, getting back into it, I had to do everything that I could to make my diet as enjoyable as possible. So what I was doing was I was eating steak every night for dinner, and then throughout the day, I'm not going to go over everything I did because I've adjusted it so many times. I couldn't even tell you where, what, and how, where, and when I made my adjustments, but it led up to where I am now. But so for you to go with your New York strip or your ribeye in the beginning, that's great because it's something you enjoy eating, something you can stick to, something you like. So that makes it a lot easier, especially if you're just starting off. I don't think that people should just go completely one end of the spectrum to the point where they're just so miserable in their diet after 2 weeks they quit. They need to
Yeah.
pick foods more that they like what you're doing.
Yeah, I know. I do notice that, like, if it's more strict, I say strict, but I'm saying where it's the same consistent, same thing every single day, I do get tired of it. And like you said, I'm more inclined to kind of stray off. Once you stray off, it's so hard to get back into it. So that's why I like to have some differences in having red meat and chicken and then kind of mixing up my vegetables. That way it feels like it's different,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's really not.
Yeah. And then do you do any snacks? So that's 3 meals you're doing there, and you do snacks in between your meals, right?
Yeah, I really enjoy rice cakes. Don't judge me. A lot of people don't. And I just, for a little bit of protein, I do put some peanut butter on it. So,
Yeah, it's a good alternative, and it's crunchy, it's creamy, and it's also sweet. It's a little sweet and salty depending on which ones you go with, and everything else with the peanut butter. But again, it works for you, and there's nothing wrong with it if it works for you. And at the end of the day, if you're eating better than you were and you're eating less calories than you were, it's going to work, especially if you're able to stick to it. And like I always say, the best diet is the one that you'll stick to. The best program is the one that you will do. So,
well, I mean, I lost 24 pounds doing that. So, I mean, it obviously worked for me.
right. And then with you adding in cardio and working out, it's only going to get better from here on out. So,
Right.
but I think that's going to be it for me on this one. Like I said, guys, like this is my deload week. I'm going to try to put some videos up here and there. I don't know how many videos I'm going to put out this week, but we're going to try to get some in. Tomorrow night's Halloween, so I'm going trick or treating with my kids. So this video will actually be out tomorrow. So Wednesday there probably won't be a video released, and then I'll see what I can do about posting the rest of the week. And everyone that's watching, man, I really appreciate you guys subscribing and stopping in and checking us out. And if you guys haven't liked the video, if you guys would, we'd appreciate that. And then if you guys have been watching regularly but haven't subscribed yet, if you want to go and do that, we'd appreciate that too. And if you don't want to subscribe, you don't want to like the video, you don't have to. But just keep in mind, though, we're going to keep posting as much as we can.
I mean, come on, follow me on my journey. Don't make me do this alone.
Yeah, follow Julie. If you don't do it for me, do it for her, right? You know, she's finally back in the gym, a mom of 3, and she's going to be in there clanging and banging.
I'm trying.
Yep. So that's all we could do. Just try your best. So, but all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Until next time.
Bye.